up at Craig Wilson's Gentiana Nursery on the Monbulkalinda Road, and this is quite an extraordinary, relatively small garden. When I say small garden, acre or so, it's not like a 5 or 10 acre garden or anything, but it's an exquisite garden because of its location. High rainfall, good soil, and Craig's got a magic touch when it comes to gardening. He really has got a gift for plant placement and complementary plants within any garden bed and so forth. The other extraordinary thing about this garden is the huge Fagus sylvatica specimens here in this garden that were planted many moons ago. So a really beautiful collection of plants and a really extraordinary backdrop with these big beech trees. There's Cornus chinensis flowering in the background there. There's a lovely specimen of Cornus controversa variegata, which is the wedding cake tree. Is a particularly good specimen. It's not a big plant, it's probably close to 3 meters tall, and just showcases the absolute beauty of this variegated plant. It's quite an extraordinary plant, Cornus controversa variegata. There's euonymus spindle tree, spindle bush, Enkianthus species. A lot of perennial plants that Craig specialises in. Craig's got a nursery here, Gentiana Nursery, and he specialises in lots of perennial species, and you can look him up online, and you'll be quite impressed with the range that he grows that other people are not doing. These are some Mahonias here in the background, a couple of different species. Orcuba. This is one of the sulphur yellow variegated forms. Japanese maples and daphnes. Viburnums. Some of the arum lilies, or Aracema. Tremendous Kalmia, calico bush or mountain laurel from eastern United States. Daphne napolitana. It's not in flower at the moment, but certainly one of the most beautiful of the Daphne species. Nice dwarf, compact habit, never gets too big. Mass flowers on every terminal in spring when it's in flower. Many different Japanese cultivars in this garden. It's really a nice blend of cottage, perennial, trees as a backdrop, and sort of towering above the rest of the garden, trees and then smaller trees and shrubs that complement the whole quilt of what this garden's about. It's a variegated Daphne here, Vadora, Orcuba rosini that we imported many years ago in season, that has masses of red fruit or berries, and beautiful white perfume flowers. It's a nice mixture. It's got lawns sort of to give it a little bit of space and structure, and then the garden beds, the large trees. It's a nice mix of large, small bulbs, perennials. It's quite a nice style garden. It's one of those gardens you walk through and spend half an hour or more, and good for the heart and soul. New Zealand natives here. A lot of New Zealand native plants in this garden, thanks to Craig being from New Zealand. He collects a lot of New Zealand native plants, and they're well represented around this garden. Just a little bit of a fruit orchard here he's developing just in the foreground of the Cornus chinensis. It's the Chinese dogwood. Of course, in the autumn that has wonderful autumn colour as well. You can sort of see the size, scale of these beech trees. They're quite extraordinary. There's a good half a dozen of them or more in the back of this garden. Quite complementary to, like I say, to the whole theme of this garden. Beautiful big golden elm there at the back. In the foreground here you've got the weeping Cercidophyllum japonicum pendulum that we imported many years ago at Yamana, and that's the weeping katsura tree, and it's from Japan, part of the world. There's a few hedges that are in this garden just to break it up and to give some structure and some formality, but Craig sort of likes the less formal garden overall, but because the way he plants it so sensitively, it's sort of a complementary garden. It's got lines and edges and hedges and grass, but I kind of like the way the garden flows and is quite natural in its habit. This is Pittosporum Tom Thumb. It's one we've grown at Yamina for many years. It's one of the little dwarf compact Pittosporums, Pittosporum tenuifolium Tom Thumb. There's a euphorbia there flowering away, and weeping Japanese maple. This is the Persian shield, Strobilanthus gossypinis. In the foreground of the Cornus Cusa chinensis. This is the man himself in his garden, Craig Wilson, and Craig's been, how many years have you been here, Craig?
30.
30 years in this garden. I mean, it had like I said previously, these beech trees have been here a very long time and predate Craig and Rick being here, but it's the understory that is what really makes this garden shine, the combination of the understory plus this big backdrop of beech trees. So wonderful garden, Gentiana Nursery and Gardens on the Olinda Monbulk Road. So must see garden.